Welcome to Folk Cello Alchemy. I'm Anna Seda, and here we are building a community of empowered cello players to learn, explore, and enjoy more about the cello than you might have thought possible. This is for beginners, professionals, non-cello playing aficionados, and folk music appreciators that might have a little bit of a nerdy side. Today I want to talk about something close to my heart, historical Scottish dance music, and how the cello was a core piece of the development of the musical style. Many of us cello players start with classical training, as did I, so it might surprise you to learn how much folk music, particularly in Scottish traditions, was preserved through sheet music. The Gow family, for example, gave us incredible publications that offer insight into the cello's role in Scottish music. Dance bands at the time were like modern musicians selling CDs and merch at shows. Sheet music was how they shared their music with amateur players at home. Originally, this music was written for fiddle and a bass voice, often played on the cello. As keyboard instruments became more popular, arrangements evolved to include them as well. Here's a great example. This is the Diamond Reel, or Miss Steele of Norwiches, from the Mackintosh collection. Red Rob Mackintosh was a music teacher and orchestral violinist who published collections of Scottish dance tunes. You can see a simple bass line written to accompany the melody. While professionals often improvise the bass lines and play the melody from memory, these printed collections gave amateur players something accessible to replicate at home. Let me give you a quick demo. One pass on the bass line and the second with the melody. I've transcribed this version by ear from Concerto Caledonia's recording that I've linked in the video description. I love it because it adheres to historical performance practices. I'm playing this line on a Baroque cello from London, circa 1740. Let's talk about how to make Scottish cello accessible for all levels. Since most Scottish tunes were written by fiddlers and pipers, they naturally lay out well on their respective instruments. On the cello, which is tuned a fifth lower than the fiddle and requires different fingerings due to spacing, some tunes can be trickier to play. But here's the great thing. Because the cello has such strong historical roots as a bass instrument, you don't need to play every melody to enjoy playing Scottish music. That said, I personally love playing melodies. When I'm reading tunes, I read in treble clef down an octave, sometimes 2 octaves down, for logistical reasons. It takes a little familiarization to fluidly read treble clef down the octave, but once you have it, it's a huge floodgate opened into learning tunes quickly. I also play on a 5-string cello with a high E to make tunes even easier to play, but it's obviously not required. When I play the Diamond Reel, I like to add a little syncopation to the 8th notes. Bowing is really the key to making the tune sound danceable. I'll improvise the bowing, slur over the crossbeats, add ornamentations, highlight the harmonic progression. For example, in this tune, I love emphasizing the stormy G minor that keeps returning in the tune. Jumping to the 20th century, the guitar played a bigger role in folk music. This introduced new backing techniques that many cellists have adapted. Some of these include strumming, syncopation, chord changes on familiar beats, chord substitutions, and even pulling from jazz harmonies. This is its own unique language on the cello and takes some structured learning to really make it work. This kind of creativity is a big part of what I call folk cello alchemy. It's something I'm excited to explore with you as we build this channel and community together. Here's a modern accompaniment idea for the diamond reel. Thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Introduce yourself, share any questions you have. Let me know what excites you about the cello or folk music in general. And I will see you next week.